What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Zatima. This is season 4, episodes 5 and 6. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So we start the episode off with Zach making Fatima breakfast. And this is where things went left. Because he made her breakfast, he woke her up, she wasn't into it, she was a bit grumpy. And what threw me off was the way Zach jumped across that bed. Y'all, why did he do that? He jumped across the bed and knocked all the food over. I said, well, this was such a waste of time. But you know what? This is what is to be expected from Zachary Taylor. Now, we jump on over to the most important scene, or at least one of the most important scenes for me, and that was Zach and Fatima going to court, y'all. So, basically, Heather's auntie is really trying to fight them for custody of Michael. And I mean, she is using everything she can against him. She using the fact that there's a video of Zach beating his brother up. She included that, he'd been to jail before. There's a case against Fatima. Baby, she had all the things against him, right? And the judge, he kind of feels like, even though, yes, those are things that are attached to Fatima and Zach, as far as Fatima was concerned, her charges got dropped. And basically they were provoked in most of the times that they were interacting with people, and it led to something, bad. However, he decides that it's best if Michael is granted custody of the aunt at this point, and Zach can get visitation, I believe. Yeah, he can get visitation. And he also has to pay child support. I think it was like $3,500 a month. I'm like, damn, Zach, you must really got money like that. Could have fooled me, but it's cool to know that you got money. But what got me was the aunt being like, yeah, so when they get married, we could put her income in as well, right? I'm like, damn, this really is a money grab for you, lady. I mean, we all knew that it was, but damn. Now, one thing that kind of shocked me was that the aunt was like, yeah, Heather, her behavior was bad to Michael, but our family ain't like that. We not like that. And there's definitely some circumstances where the family is nothing like one member of the family. But at the same time, it's like, girl, where were you at all this time? Because Michael is every bit of 4 or 5 years old. So where have you been, lady? I'm just a little confused. So, of course, Zach, he ends up giving a speech about he trying to be this great dad. And the judge is like, yeah, that's cute, but you still got to pay this child support, right? However, Fatima got a little trick up her sleeve because she's like, well, we don't know if he's really the dad, okay? There's a question of paternity. There was not a court-ordered paternity test, so we need to guarantee that this is his child first. I said, damn, okay, Fatima, quick thinking. Because that postpones the payments of child support. And, y'all, in the grand scheme of this whole situation, it is very messed up. Because at the end of the day, it's literally a child being thrown from here to there. First, he had his mama house, and she's treating him terribly. Then he went to his daddy house. They took him out of there. Now he at the auntie house. Can we give the child some stability, please? Can he have something stable in his life? So the judge basically tells Zach that he needs to take anger management class so that way he can possibly get custody of Michael again. And I'm just like, Zach definitely need anger management class. But who they got teaching the class, I was over it. I got to be completely honest, y'all. But we going to get there in a minute. So after this whole situation, we see Fatima, she's back at work, y'all. And she's talking to somebody at the office. I'm like, who is this lady? We have never seen her. Very pretty, by the way. But I don't know her. Nonetheless, she comes into Fatima's office and she's like, listen, I have an opportunity for you. And if you want to take it, we can do this. Basically, she needs to take a leave of absence. And she wanted Fatima to fill in. Here's my only thing, y'all. My only gripe is that they keep giving Fatima opportunities, which is great, but at the same time, she hasn't passed the bar. Like, just write it in and she passes the fucking bar at this point. Because we can't keep giving her all these opportunities and she don't qualify for them technically. You know what I'm saying? And y'all, I love Fatima down. But I'm just like, okay, at a certain point, we have got to get her to pass this bar because we keep putting great opportunities in her hands. And I would hate for it to be a situation where they write it in that, oh, well, because she didn't pass the bar, next thing you know, she's getting in trouble for things. I don't got time for that storyline, okay? I don't want to see it. But nonetheless, back to this lady. Basically, she's telling her that she has to take a leave of absence. And if Fatima can fill in for her, that'd be great. She'll be back before Fatima has to, do her maternity leave. And after Fatima has the baby, maybe there's a chance that they can work together. Because she feels like maybe Fatima will do well working in entertainment and not criminal law. I absolutely agree with that. I do not think that Fatima needs to be with the criminals, okay? She's already related to criminals. She's dating a criminal. We've been around them, okay? She's completely surrounded by criminals. We don't need criminal law as well, okay? So we learned that there's a client by the name of Sage, who's a R&B sensation, and I'm just like, okay, we'll see where this storyline is going to go, right? So Fatima agrees. Fatima's like, you know what? This sounds a great opportunity. I want to go ahead and make this happen. Okay, great. Because next thing you know, Fatima is going to be meeting Sage. And I mean like right now, okay? Now, we quickly learned that Fatima is not going to be trying to, go overboard when it comes to the workload because she's going to be focusing on the discovery of this case, which is basically all the research and information that you would need to build the case, right? And Fatima's kind of nervous because this is like a celebrity that she's going to be meeting. And they have a good conversation when they meet. At first I was looking at Sage like, girl, you trying to give Fatima the eyes or what? What's going on there? But nonetheless, they seem to get along. We learned that when it comes to Sage, she's managed by her father. However, he's very restrictive and she wants to do things on her own at this point in her career. And we learned he has a conservatorship over this girl life until she's 30. Now, I don't know how old Sage is supposed to be, but I was like, damn, we really about to write the Britney Spears line into this. Okay, did she get interesting, right? And y'all, I can't lie. I do like this idea of Fatima having a life, having something else going on besides whatever Zach has going on. Because let's be honest, the past 3 seasons of Zatima has mostly been about what Zach got going on. So I love the idea of us seeing what Fatima has going on, okay? So after that, Sage, she's trying to get Fatima to help her out, find a spot to throw her like listening party. And it just seems like these two ladies are going to hit it off. However, this is a TV show, so things can go sour real quick, okay? Moving on from there. We do have a conversation between Zach and Fatima, and this is after her meeting with Sage, and she tells him that, she's going to be working with her, and she's also going to be working late, okay? Now, he is very supportive of this, and I was kind of shocked because when have we ever seen Zach really be supportive of Fatima? It's not too often. Usually he make a big deal about something that has to do with himself and, keeps circling back to him. But he was actually supportive of her in this moment. He gets off the phone with Fatima, and he's going to be going to a happy hour with Bryce and Preston, right? Now, we jump on over to Tony. Y'all, he's still dropping off money to that old lady. To the point where the old lady swung the door open, and as he was leaving, she's like, "Sir, who are you? Who are you?" And he just keep on walking. Y'all, I'm tired. Can we just do the big reveal already? Because this is dragging. But let's go ahead and move on to episode 6. So, in episode 6, we see Angela. She goes to see Fatima at the office, but really, it's Leslie playing around in Fatima's office. And I'm just like, you mean to tell me there's no cameras at this law office? Like, how did she get in? She didn't have to scan a badge to have access to all these rooms? Like, this don't even make sense at this point. And you mean to tell me all y'all have worked with Zatima for years at this point, and y'all just let Leslie walk on by? Nobody said, hey, that is not Zatima. That's a bit strange. Nonetheless, Angela, she ends up running into Zatima, and she's like tripping out because she's like, wait, how'd you get over here so fast when you was in a whole different room? And Fatima's like, girl, what are you talking about, right? Because she don't know that it's Leslie. Zatima ends up telling Angela about the fact that she's working with Sage now. And I'm like, girl, okay, you talking too much. You done told one too many people. Because now Zach is going to tell his boys. Angela's probably going to tell Belinda. And y'all know how this go. So, the only thing I kept thinking was, I am very nervous that Leslie is going to try to ruin everything Zatima has going on with Sage. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she's going to try to throw a monkey wrench in that situation. Because I'm like, girl, you're that deranged and now you at her job? That's crazy. And also, am I tripping, or did Leslie grab some papers when she walked out of that office? Y'all let me know. So after that, we jump over to the guys. They're having happy hour, and Zach is already telling the fellas that, oh yeah, because Zatima, she gonna be working with Sage and all this stuff. It's just like, yo, keep that tucked in, okay? Don't be letting everybody know everything. But besides that, they talk about how Zatima doesn't seem like she's gonna be slowing down. Even though she's about to have a baby, like, it seems like Zatima has a lot going on, and Zach says he's gonna be supportive of Zatima and whatever that she wants to do. And even he's thinking that, you know, maybe the criminal law thing is not for her, but entertainment can be, you know, her strong suit, which I think it definitely is. But let's go ahead and move on, because Bryce, he ends up bringing up Angela at some point in this conversation. I don't know how or why, but I'm just like, can we just have Bryce date a man already? Because remember, y'all told us that he was bi, but now he is only obsessed with Angela. Let's just give him a boyfriend, because I'm tired of the Angela and Bryce idea, okay? Now, moving on from there, we see Belinda. She's at her shop, baby. I completely forgot that Belinda even do hair, okay? Leslie shows up, talking about some she need a touch-up. Girl, you touched all right. Anyways, this girl's trying to get the same exact curl pattern as Zatima. She is so obsessed. And she's over here going on about how, you know, she's getting ready for a baby shower. She mentioned how she worked at a law firm. So Belinda is thrown off because this is all reminding her so much of Zatima, right? And at this point, Belinda's like, dang, like, you remind me of, like, one of my homegirls. And Leslie, she basically gets Belinda to open up about the friendship. And Belinda, of course, is talking about how, like, you know, they're not as close. Baby, why did Leslie say, well, you know, maybe you should apologize? I said, baby, well, this is getting weird. But also, I'm just like, Leslie, how would you know anything that's going on between Zatima and Belinda? Did you hack her phone or something? I'm confused. Nonetheless, when Leslie leaves, Belinda ends up calling Zatima. Zatima is already annoyed with Belinda. The way Zatima is annoyed with Belinda, it's just like, stop trying to make fetch happen. These ladies are not going to be cool or friends anymore. We need to let that idea go, okay? Because Zatima really don't want nothing to do with Belinda at this point. Now, while Belinda and Zatima are talking, we can see that Zatima is having some type of pregnancy pains, okay? But clearly she is ignoring them, okay? So she's like, no, the baby's just kicking really hard right now. And it got to the point at somewhere in this conversation, and Belinda ends up dropping the conversation that she had with Leslie, because she was trying to tell Zatima, like, hey, do you know a Leslie? But again, Zatima, she did not want to hear about it. So we got to change the subject. The subject turns to, well, you know, I miss our friendship, girl. Fatima don't want to be friends. So where does that leave you? I guess, they're trying to extend the olive branch. And Fatima's like, we can try to figure out where we are now and move forward. I'm just like, okay, if by the end of the season they not cool, go ahead and remove Belinda off the show. Because, we're dragging it. Moving on, Zach shows up to her job, of course. He brings her food or whatever, and then he says that he's going to anger management. So, when he gets there, he sees Lori. Baby, it took me forever to realize who Lori was. Because I'm like, I don't know this woman. Who is that? Y'all, it's Nate's wife, okay? And then come to find out of all the doctors to lead the class, it's Dr. Reed. I'm like, oh, God, not him. So, basically, Lori had a conversation with Nate. And whatever they talked about, she kept her cool, she didn't react. But Nate was saying how things need to be done on his terms. I'm like, wait a second. On his terms, that man continuously cheats on her. Are we not following the storyline here? It's crazy to me. We're worried about her anger when that man literally continues to cheat on her, possibly bringing diseases to her. I'm sorry. At a certain point, we got to stop with all this bullshit of people can't be mad. You can't get angry. You need to control your emotions. I get all that. But, what else am I supposed to do? Am I just supposed to take it and tolerate it? What's the goal here? Nonetheless, my issue is that Zach kept chiming in. Zach kept chiming in every time Lori had something to say. And, of course, they have to reveal to Dr. Reed that they know each other, right? Zach, he ends up opening up to the group. He introduces himself, talks about his family, how they push his buttons. All of that is very true. I cannot lie. Every time Jeremiah comes around, he's fucking shit up. Okay? And I'm not saying that Zach always got his shit together, but let's be completely honest. His mother and his brother have done some detrimental shit to that man. I mean, he literally put his brother in rehab for that man to leave an hour later. Wasting money, wasting time. The man got his fiance almost killed. There does need to be some type of accountability held on his liability as family members. Okay? But no, Dr. Reed is you take no accountability for being here. And I'm just let's be honest. You can absolutely be pushed to anger. And in the situations that Zach is mentioning, you would think he was the aggressor the way Dr. Reed is responding. I'm just no. This is one of the times where I can kind of agree with Zach at this point. I just don't understand what we're trying to do with this Dr. Reed person. I understand people got to take accountability and all of that, but literally in the situations that we're talking about specifically with Zach's family, he tried to be there for his family and they completely fucked him over. Are we not seeing that? What's happening? Because Jeremiah has been a fucking burden since we've met him on camera. Okay? He absolutely has. And not only that, even if I take Zach out of the equation, even the Lori and Nate situation, I'm you don't want her to be yelling at this man and be angry. But look at how he dogging her ass out. What is going on? And then have the audacity to be yeah, because Nate said that maybe we can go to marriage counseling. Do y'all think Nate is going to go to marriage counseling? I don't think so. Okay? But moving on from there, this is where things got real interesting for me. Because Dr. Reed, he kind of did this little tactic where he pushed Zach. And Zach kind of jumped at him. But Dr. Reed didn't flinch. And Dr. Reed is well, I know that you're not going to hit me. And see that? You just controlled your emotions. Sir, I think that tactic was dumb. So then, at one point, y'all, Zach told Dr. Reed that he wanted to punch him since he met him. And I'm just like, if he feels that way, it seems like he still feels that way. Dr. Reed, I don't think that you are the right person to be helping Zach. Like, that's a weird phrase for him to say that to you in this moment. Like, y'all have worked together before. Remember, you were seeing him as a patient. So I'm not even understanding how we got to this point. Like, am I the one who thought this whole scene was a bit cringe? But I guess, whatever. So we then see Fatima. She goes to her car. Y'all, am I the only one that was thrown off that there was like a little baby toy left in the car? I'm like, did Leslie leave that? Like, what was that? That was a bit weird. Then we jump on over to Connie, and I'm like, okay, great. We get an update on Connie. Not really. Connie ends up spotting out Jeremiah. And she's like, Jeremiah, I'm worried about you. And that man ain't thinking about her. All he's trying to do is get his next hit. Because according to him, he saw his mama in a dream, or should I say a hallucination, and now he trying to get back there. Okay? For some reason, she is trying to fight him on being the person to help him get sober. Girl, why? You got your own health to worry about. Don't worry about Jeremiah. Him being a lost cause. You kidding me? You got to go fight for your life. Don't worry about him. It even got to the point where she kind of leans over on him because she needs to go lay down. So that's what she did. She's like, okay, I'm going to lay down, right? Now, y'all, this just had me think. Remember that at one point when Zach was low-key attempting to possibly mess around with Connie? And there was a scene where Nate and Tony were sitting outside of the projects, and they assumed, or should I say they thought, that Connie may be on drugs. Well, how come we never circle back to that? Am I the only one that remembers that? Because I feel like that happened. Nonetheless, we're going to move on. We see Fatima, she's at home with Zach, and she apologized to him for, acting up in the morning, being so moody and hormonal and all of those things. And then they get all lovey-dovey, right? How do we end the show? Oh, Jeremiah is getting high yet again. And he's going on about how he's lost everything. Y'all, I still don't feel bad for that man. I don't. Nothing is going to make me feel bad for Jeremiah. He's never trying to do better. So, it is what it is. That's my review. It wasn't a good one this go round. I gotta be honest. I was not into these episodes like that. Hopefully it gets better. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about it. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.